Hello and welcome to another episode of Wedflics. This is an episode with my friend Lucy Wright of Lucy Wright Events, a renowned Yorkshire wedding planner who's been in the business for 17 years. Today she's talking to us all about the process of getting started as a wedding planner and where to begin if you want to embark on a wonderful career like hers.
Okay. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Julia.
Everybody, this is Lucy Wright. She's a great friend of mine, so it feels very strange to be interviewing her via Zoom for our brand new series, Wedflics. So we're going to jump right into it. First of all, Lucy, can you just introduce yourself, exactly who you are, and what is it you do if they don't know you already?
Hi everybody who's watching. So I am Lucy from Lucy Wright Events, and I'm a wedding planner and designer and have been for about near enough 17 years, based in Yorkshire but working all over the UK and Europe.
How did you get into it, Lucy? What made you want to become a wedding planner?
Oh, that's such a good question. What made me want to be a wedding planner? I think I used to work for a very well-known high street restaurant bar chain, and very long story short, I ended up being the manager of the bar. They didn't do any internal kind of events or celebrations or award system for those amazing staff that worked within that company. So I created their awards ceremony for them and hosted the first big event. We did the Oscars, and it kind of went from there really. And I always loved hosting dinner parties. My parents' kind of parties they'd have, and I'd organise them and write lists, and I'm just a very organised person naturally. So when I went into the bar chain and did it, I thought, I'd really want to do this. And then I worked in hotels, not in the weddings and events, but I always saw those and always volunteered to help with the weddings and events on the weekends, having done my 9-to-5 job in the weekdays. And I grew love for organising weddings then really. And then I did then go in to do work experience for a whole summer at a venue close by to me now, and I'm still there looking after all their weddings, because I get paid now, not just work experience, and it went from there really.
Do you need any qualifications to become a wedding planner? Do you have any official qualifications, or has it been a point of learning on the job for you? And I think that's better, to actually work on the job, build it up. I mean, how many years have you been going now?
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? It's that kind of industry where it's not regulated, anyone can do it, it's all about experience. So I've been doing planning for 17 years. I started from work experience. I always say to clients when they say, you must know everything about weddings, and no, I don't, because every wedding is different. Every year it's different. Weddings evolve. We've now got Pinterest and Instagram, which we didn't have 10 years ago. So all these influences change from wedding to wedding, season to season, year to year. So I will never know everything about weddings. I have my experience, so I'm proactive and reactive to situations at weddings, and I'm very creatively minded and also very practically minded. So if I don't feel as though something is going to work, whether it's a marquee design or the logistics of timings or something, I will say that to my couples. But it's not something you can train for. Yes, you can go and get an event management degree, which will help you with the business side of having your own business and running events. But actually, I've had people work on work experience with me for the summer, and they haven't got that mindset. They haven't got the they haven't got that mindset to go off and just solve a problem that's in front of them. They have to go and check with someone, shall I do this, shall I do that? Well, that's not the kind of person I need to work for me. I need someone who's reactive and thinks on their feet and thinks, right, no, that is the wrong thing to be happening, I'm going to go and sort it. So it depends on the person. They could have their event management degree, but actually on the field in practice they are not the right person for that job. It's something you have to have it in you, I think, to be organised and creative, and also a very calm person, I suppose. Very, you know, I always find a solution to everything. There's a whole host of problems and issues that come with every wedding, but I always aim to find a solution. And you have to work hard as well, long hours. It is not glamorous like most people who get married and think, I'm going to be a wedding planner. It is not standing there in a pretty dress, looking nice, chatting to people and having a glass of fizz at 8 o'clock at night. I am there till 2-3 in the morning. I've been cleaning up sick, cleaning up toilets, you know, in the mud, in the snow, in the rain, just, you know, when you just probably feel miserable, but you just have to carry on. So and I do, because I love it, and I'll do it every year, and I'll do it the following week after a you know, horrendous day like that.
Yeah, I think as well, you mentioned that you were, the first thing you mentioned about how you came into this was that you're very organised. And then you mentioned some skills like tenacity, sort of thinking on your feet, that sort of thing. So would you say those are the key skills that you need to bring to the table? Like what sort of person does this career suit?
Yeah, definitely a creative, because my brides look to me to come up with, you know, the next kind of creative design or solution or something that their friends haven't seen before. So definitely being creative. And for example, I was chatting to one of my brides last week with her florist and her stylist. And obviously I'm as the planner. Now people will see a crossover there, not maybe so much with the florist, but with the stylist and the planner. There is a massive distinctive difference between a stylist and a planner. So as the planner, I am putting everything together of all those suppliers. A stylist would have all the props and things to accompany a florist. And I can't remember the question you just asked me.
So what key skills do you think, you know, that what sort of person does it suit? So you're saying, because I kind of went down the organisation route, but you were saying actually there is a creative element to that. So first and foremost, creativity is at the front of, or it's like a balance.
It's a balance with it. I think you need to be you definitely need to be organised. That's probably the foremost. You need to be organised and you know, meticulous with your planning, kind of even just down to planning meetings, kind of thinking 3 steps ahead of things. So for example, you know, when you're having a meeting with, I was having a meeting with a bride the other day, and I knew we were going into the meeting or the other week, and I organised to get some chairs delivered to show her and some linen samples, and thinking 3 steps ahead, because I got there and then she said, oh well, I didn't know what chairs I wanted, and I said, well, I've got them in my car to show you. So it's thinking ahead, being planning and organising, but being creative. So you have to work with your florist, your stylist, to kind of bring the ideas that they've got, and also just enhancing their thoughts and their designs, but with that practical mind. It's balancing everything out, I suppose, and that's only from experience of learning all those tricks.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can imagine that comes with experience. So we were talking about the need for qualifications, but that really is kind of, it's just an add-on, isn't it? It's what you need to do is go out there, work with someone who's established in this field and learn from them and learn on the job. Would that be your top tip for someone sort of trying to get into this industry? Or
yeah, definitely don't think that you can go out and know everything. Don't assume that you've got the qualification, you can go off and do it. It's definitely not. I mean, like I said, even 17 years down the line, I'm still learning things, and every wedding I learn from, and every wedding I think, right, well, I'm going to do that slightly different next time, and it's not like there's been a mistake or there's been a massive issue. It's just I learn from myself and learn from different scenarios and situations. Different couples demand different things of you. So yeah, it's you need to be definitely organised but creative as well, and I think those are things you can't necessarily learn from you know, or have from a qualification. You have to learn it on the job, definitely. And I think I've had a lot of people, work experience people with me, realise that actually it's not for them. Once they've got their degree in event management, they've gone off and done something in the same event industry, but not being a planner. They cannot hack, you know, working an 18-hour wedding day and then getting up the next morning to do the post-wedding party, week on week in. They just can't manage it, and then doing all the paperwork during the week. It's a massive workload. So yeah, they realise they can't do it.
So volume-wise, there's a lot of work that goes into every single wedding that you take on. What, for you personally, in your business, sort of how many brides and grooms are you dealing with in any average year? I mean, this year's a little bit different from usual, but in like a normal year, what sort of figures are you talking about, and how do you make sure to kind of service all of those clients?
So I only take on probably about 10 to 12 full wedding planning jobs a year, so that I can give each couple the full attention. So that the nicest thing one of my couples said to me recently was, she said, I know you've probably got about 30 or 40 weddings on the go, but I only ever feel like that it's just me, because I give her such attention. It is a 24/7 job. Because I have international couples, so with the time zone, I'm working till 11 o'clock midnight, chatting to them on a Zoom call, and working through all their plans and things, and then the next day I'll be following it up with their emails, contacting their suppliers and stuff. So it's continuous. It's not a 9 to 5 job, but I will only take on 10 to 12 full planning, and then I do on the day coordination. I do probably 15 to 20 of those, because that's maybe 2/3 of the amount of work as full planning, because my on the day is not just being there on the day. That's as useful as a chocolate fire guard. So mine starts about an initial meeting to visit the site or the venue, and then it will involve keeping in contact throughout the whole time. About 6 weeks before the wedding, I'll come on board and create a big timeline, contact all the suppliers, manage and look after everything, give the final ideas, and kind of just check all the logistics and everything, dot the I's, cross the T's, and then I'm there the day before the wedding and on the day. And the difference with myself is I am there right until the last guest leaves. I don't finish just after first dance or 8 o'clock at night. Granted, there isn't loads to do, but there's always something to do, and just to ensure that the DJ arrives, the band arrives, the generator gets switched off, everything is de-rigged, ready for the next day, whether it's the marquee coming down the next day and the linen's returned or whatever it is. I just feel as though it's better to be there right until the end, and to kind of deliver the continuity of my management on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've done a belt and braces job for that client, and you go home feeling like that job is done and ticked off, and everything's sorted. So you talked there about your full planning, and then you're on the day services. Are those the two key services you offer, or do you offer anything else? I mean, what would be a breakdown of services starting from full planning and then down your list?
Yeah, good question. So I, again, over my experience, have learned that every couple wants something different. So I love couples to come to me and just say, right, this is what I'm looking for. What can you do? And that's fine. I'll help in any way. I don't like the thought of people kind of struggling on their own. So there is no, I hate the word package. I don't deliver packages of here's package full planning, here's on the day, anything.
Sorry about that, Lucy.
Why? What did you say?
I was going for the packages.
Yes, I don't do packages. It's all bespoke to what people want, whether it's full planning or just an hour's advice. So I can break it down into 5 kind of investments.
Packages.
Investments. So full planning is the works. So there's no time limit, there's no set 5 meetings and how many phone calls. How can you limit how much help and work you need on your wedding? It's just me basically becoming your wedding PA, organising meetings, creating that timeline, being there on the day. It's the full works. Then there's on the day coordination with partial planning, and that's a little bit in between. It's really hard. I mean, I was just saying to a client a few hours ago that I said, I'll send you my quote, but it's really difficult to put in writing exactly what I do, because I just get the job done, whether it is cleaning up whatever, or helping the kitchen staff clearing down, or pouring the gravy, or whatever. I can't sit still. I'm not the kind of wedding planner that will just stand there on the day pretending to look glamorous. I am there mucking in with everyone, making sure it's sorted. So yeah, on the day with partial planning, it might be that partial planning is just helping sourcing your marquee company or the marquee design, ensuring that that's all sorted, and then they're kind of on the day bit, and the other suppliers they can deal with. Then it goes down to on the day coordination. Like I said, start 6 weeks before that initial meeting to do the site visit or wherever it is, and then being there on the day, right until the last guest leaves. And then I do venue searches. So I don't only just do wedding planning, I'm a venue consultant, so I'll find new venues, get them up and ready for weddings. So I know a whole host of venues that are not yet on the market, they're not yet ready for weddings. We've just got one we're going through now. They're at hard hat construction process at the moment. So I then do venue consultancy, and then I can pass those on to my brides, finding new venues that maybe their friends haven't heard of or been to. So yeah, venue searches. And then I do an hour's advice as well. So I can do just like this, a Zoom call or a meeting with the couple at their venue, just offering at any stage of the planning. It might be at the beginning just to set them off. It might be halfway through. It might be right at the end, just to say, right, check everything's done. Have they missed anything? Within that hour's advice, I can also add on creating the timeline, which a couple did last year. They just wanted to tick all the boxes, make sure they'd covered everything, not forgotten anything, and have me create their timeline. I couldn't be there on the day, which they knew. They handed the timeline I created to their caterers, and it went seamlessly because everyone was following the same plan and action timeline. So yeah, that comes with my hour's advice as well. So all sorts. But if there's anything else that I am not offering that people need, then I'll do it. Whatever helps.
Obviously, when someone's starting out as a planner, they won't know how to price their services. They won't know how to kind of, or even feel ready to ask for any money. How do you? Obviously, you've got years and years of experience. How do you charge, and how do you price, and how do you know how to set that price in order to attract your clients?
Well, one thing about price, it's really, really difficult. I've actually never looked at what other planners charge. I know I did once work it out, how many per hour, and quite a few weddings that I planned, I was working for less than minimum wage with the amount of hours I put in. So I kind of worked out from that and created my prices. I've never looked at what other planners are doing really and compared, because I know my value. I know what I can bring to people. If they don't see the value within that, then I just think, fine, they're suited to someone else. Luckily I'm in that position now, 17 years down the line, to be able to say that. When you first start out, obviously you want the business. You don't undervalue yourself though. It is a lot of hard work. I remember starting out and charging about £500-600 to do a wedding that pretty much killed me because I was doing so much work, but I loved it. And I got a great portfolio of photos. I met an amazing host of suppliers. So in that respect, it was worth every penny. I mean, yeah, I was working for less than half of minimum wage, but it didn't matter. That's my dream. That's what I wanted to do. And then one thing with pricing is that my prices are set, slightly negotiable depending where the wedding is, when it is, out of season, in season. Will there be a season? It's just all one long season next year. But I don't do a percentage of weddings. I know a lot of planners do, so they ask you what your budget is. If it's 50k, 100k, they'll charge you a percentage. There is no trust in that. So my absolute goal is to have a trust with my clients. So my prices are set, and you can have as much work from me as you want for that. I'm always available, always on my phone, WhatsApp. So they get as much time as me as they want. Rather than saying, right, it's a percentage, and here's this florist or this caterer, and they're going to cost more, therefore my fee will go up because the wedding budget goes up. I actually hate finances, so I never take any money apart from my own. I never take any of the budget. I do all contracts go to my clients. I get the suppliers to send to me for me to check, for me to print out, put in their file and send on to the client. I never deal with all the client's finances. I put it in the spreadsheet and keep within the budgets, but actually money transactions, I'm too busy to be doing that as well. So yeah, it's about having that trust with the client, and the cost that you as a wedding planner charges, it does vary, but I'd always say you get what you pay for. If you're prepared to pay a planner 500 quid, which is who's been going for a long time, you have to question, are they professional or are they doing it as a hobby? Are they fitting this in around a full-time job, or is this the full-time job like it is for me? This is my job. I put my whole life into it. So you definitely get what you pay for.
Yeah, you talked a lot about trust there as well. And knowing you personally, I do think that's one of the reasons that your business stands out and does well, that trust factor. How do you see is that like how you think your business stands out, or how do you make your business stand out? How do you do well at this? Because, there's a lot of people out there, I'm sure some of them watching now, who want to be a wedding planner, but you've done it, you've got there, you're booking the clients year in, year out. So how are you putting your business forward? Is it a good website? Is it Instagram? Is it social media? What is it, Lucy? That's what's the dream formula for Lucy? Or is it Lucy herself?
I don't know. That's like the golden question. I don't know. I still have a fear every year that I'm not going to get any bookings. I'm going to have no weddings. I think I'm just me. I'm not like, if you look at my Instagram, God, don't look at my website because I've not had time to update it. But if you look at my website, it's not a glossy magazine. It's real. It's me. If you look at my Facebook page, which is very similar to my Instagram page, but it's just real weddings. I am personable. I suppose I attract people who are similar to me. I'm not trying to be number one in Vogue, or Unveiled. I'm not trying to be.
Let's be right.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to be the number one all-time singing, dancing. I don't need to be a celebrity wedding planner. I actually look at those celebrity wedding planners and I put them on a pedestal, and I watch them or listen to them and think, do you know what? You are no better than me, and you charge a fortune. I think what clients get with me is me. I don't have a massive team of people. I do have event managers I pull in to help if the wedding's big, or if I'm doing a kind of split site wedding and stuff. But ultimately, my clients get me on the day. So I think that's what makes it successful, is it me, and that I am so particular and OCD about getting everything spot on, that I don't leave any details out. Although it's my income, I do charge money to do the wedding planning. It's not about the money for me. I just love what I do. And I know everyone says that. It sounds so cheesy, doesn't it? That, I just love weddings. Well, I just love organising things. I love standing back at the end of the wedding or the event or party and just thinking, God, I helped plan this. I did this. I pulled that team together and we nailed it. And it is a massive team effort. I'm just the person pulling in the right suppliers, matching to the client's brief. It is a team effort actually on the day. I'm only as good as the barman serving the cocktails. If they're rubbish, I'll get it in the net because I've suggested that supplier. Or if the caterers fail to turn up, which they wouldn't, but if they did, it's down to me to sort it out. So I think it's about being very particular and not showy, I suppose. It's just I love organising and planning.
Yeah, from an outside perspective, looking in on your career, I think a lot of what you do right is also networking with those suppliers that you rely on so heavily. So you said then, a caterer would never not show up, but that's because you have that relationship. Your client has got the relationship with trust with you, and you have that relationship with trust with the caterer, and that's come from years of working with these people. I think that's a big part of your success, that how you book clients is often, I'm guessing, word of mouth as well.
Yeah, it's reciprocal. A lot of my suppliers suggest me as well, like for the on the day, they get nearer the wedding day and they kind of said, you know what, you just need some help. Can you just give Lucy a call and see what she can do to help you, because you really need someone there. So my suppliers, I socialise with, I call my suppliers, they're all my friends, they're all like you. We socialise together, and there's am I allowed to mention suppliers here? Okay, so like for example, Jed at Hog and Apple, we both are massive foodies, so we went off to Tommy Banks's the Black Swan at Oldstead for dinner, just because we wanted to go. It was blooming expensive, but we socialise and chat about things, and we kind of then, and it's the worst dinner date ever, because he was there kind of dissecting the food, working out how we can put that into a wedding.
Yeah.
But that's
what I like.
That's what I like. And then to Callum at Yorkshire Bartender, he's just sent me an amazing bottle of gin that he's made, and it's thing. And then if I'm going to an event or something, I'll ring one of them and say, "Oh, do you want to come?" Or there's this big party, can we go to it? And it's they are my friends. So actually, like there's a wedding next year, which I've just got a massive whole host of incredible suppliers together. And obviously I'm suggesting, it sounds like I'm just suggesting all my mates to come to a party, but I'm suggesting those that fit the brief of the clients. And when they then go, yeah, we want them, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing, because they've really trusted me with who I'm suggesting. I know that particular one is going to be phenomenal, because we've got an all-star lineup of suppliers. But equally, I love meeting new suppliers as well. I can never just stick to the same, because every wedding's different. Every bride wants something different. So if they know somebody they want, I'll work with them as well, and I'll have a chat with them first and just check through their contract. But I'll never not work with people. I'm just maybe a bit more cautious and a bit more on it with them. Like if I work with a marquee company that I know, Papakata, Classic Marquees, Will's Marquees, I know I can trust them. I know they'll deliver second to none kind of service. Clients will be happy, but if there is an issue, they'll be there, they'll be on it. If it's a marquee company I don't know, I've not worked with, I'll be on it more. I'll be there when it's on the build. I'll be there checking it all, signing it all off for the clients, and they're on the D-rig making sure all the pins have come out and the venue is left as it should be. So it's just a bit more work for me, I suppose, but I'm happy to do that, because I get to meet new suppliers and expand my network of suppliers.
It's the same for us through the magazine. It's all about sort of when the good guys come together, the magic happens, and that's not limited to a certain set of people. We don't have cliques or little teams. We have amazing people that we like to work with, and they might, you draw from the different, when I put my style shoots together, I draw from different pockets of who's working with us, who's supplying us, and we put them together and make magic. And that's what you're doing for every wedding. But I do think that's a lot of your success, that network you've built. You can then deliver those weddings because you rely on those amazing people, but equally those people are then going out and talking about you to their brides further down the line, like you were saying, kind of for the jobs that aren't start from the start, planning the more pickup jobs. I'd imagine that you do really well from that. And people talk, it's really important that I've heard this quote that your brand's what people talk about when you're not there.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, definitely. It's I can't think what I was going to say now. It is about who you know, and kind of, I'm just a really sociable person. I just like meeting new people and working with different people, and it is, I've never seen it as kind of well, for example, if you go to I don't know, venue show, not a Brides Up North or Unveiled. I went to one not so long ago, and there was only maybe 20 brides there, and a lot of the suppliers, and I was there to support the venue. It's one I'd worked with a lot, and there was only about 20 brides there, and a lot of the suppliers within the wedding kind of show were a bit miserable and a bit like, oh, this is rubbish, we're not going to get any leads. And I said, well, actually, I think look at it the other way around, flip it around. You're meeting all these amazing host of suppliers, you're networking. It's not cost you anything to be here. Chat to these suppliers that are here. And I met some amazing people that are, really great friends. I already knew loads, but I've met some new ones, and we've kept in touch via social media, and like I said, again, expanded my kind of supplier network. So it's just about
meeting people. Yeah, I think as well, you said the wedding show was quiet and that's why you could do it, but I think even at the busier wedding shows, and there's always time to chat, there's always time, you know, during setup, helping each other in with the goods. At the end you can stick around, and unless everyone's run off for the Sunday lunch, you can leave it. I think a wedding show for suppliers is as much about booking the brides there and then on the day as it is about, you know, taking some time, even if it's super busy, to go around and say hello to people, get your name out there. And particularly when you're starting out, it's a really good way to kind of network and say hello, really. So talking about people getting started, what would be your top tips for people just starting out?
Oh gosh, right, top tips. Go and get some work experience, definitely, and with different people. So as a planner, I decided a few years ago. So imagine I'm there creating like the Bible of the wedding day, so the timeline that pulls all the suppliers, timings, logistics, requirements all together in one document. So in order for me to do that, I kind of realised I need to understand what the photographer needs, what the caterers need. So I actually went and I've waitressed for Hog and Apple, so I understood from their point of view, right, timing. I kind of knew a lot of it already, but I wanted to really get involved and really understand the whole process. So I went and waitressed for them, which was just brilliant. I went and built a Will's marquee. And then it was funny because I built that marquee and then I was the wedding planner for that wedding, which was great. I could say I built this, and it didn't rain. And I shadowed photographers. I've worked with florists. I did a wedding a few years ago with Twisted Willow, now called Rarefied, and they entrusted me to go and actually install, granted it wasn't, the flower arrangements were all done, but moisty Christmas trees and things for a wedding over at Swinton Park. And I did all of that because they knew I was creative, to know with the design of things, to get it right, to make it look right, but also I was just hardworking. So I would suggest that a planner, a wannabe planner, goes and shadows other planners, and also other suppliers, you know, see it from all different points of views. I always maintain that everyone in the world, no matter what career you go into, everyone should go and be a waiter or a waitress and just learn how hard it is, and never look down on them. Gosh, they are like, you know, the key to that, an event. Without the waiters, waitresses and caterers, who are pretty much running around doing everything, they get asked to do everything. So go and work and be one of them, and understand how hard it is, and from their point of view. So yeah, experience is the best thing.
Immerse yourself in that world.
Yeah, completely. And do it, don't expect to be getting paid or anything. Do it for free. That's what I did. You know, I would still go and help any of my suppliers for free to help them. Don't expect anything in return. I do anything for anybody just to help them. But I think it's good to see it from different viewpoints. So yeah, get experience, and then just do loads of research as well. If you've not got married yourself, put yourself in a bride's shoes and kind of just think, what is it you would want from a planner? Try and think out the box, be a bit different, offer something different. I suppose my forte is marquees. So if someone has a marquee in the back garden of their home, that's like my dream, because it's a blank canvas. You don't have any rules from any venues. You can pull in all the suppliers you wish. But I would say that wannabe suppliers, maybe find different angles, different kind of a niche within the market that they want to target, and also go and get experience in hotels as well. Like I've worked in hotels. They're very much more of a maybe a blueprint to weddings because they do so many, but great to get experience in the hotels.
So to sort of boil that down, we're saying experience, and getting really involved, and I think as well, I think it always goes a long way to be polite, to turn up on time, to, you know, just be the best version of yourself that you can be. That's what someone's looking for in sort of a right-hand woman on the day, which is really what you are for your couples, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, turning up. I mean, as a planner, I always struggle with this because when I do like your wedding shows and things, I was like, oh, I've got nothing to show. I'm not a florist with a product. I'm not a caterer and give away, free canapes. I'm not a cake maker that can display beautiful cakes. I am my product. So investing in myself, having my nails done, and which is hard in lockdown. But brushing your hair, putting your makeup on, investing in yourself, looking smart, turning up on time, being prepared and organised, going to an event is really key, I suppose. So, and always having a smile on your face, being positive.
And also getting involved in doing things like this. So we're speaking from lockdown at the moment, but, we've turned up, we're here.
Yeah.
Hopefully furthering both businesses. But that's what you do. You push in the right way and get your brand out there. It's not necessarily about the snazzy websites, although they do help, the brand building, the Instagram channels, that sort of thing. I think what we're seeing from you, Lucy, is that it's about the work that goes in behind the scenes that really make the business tick. So a typical day in the life of Lucy Wright.
Oh gosh, right, okay.
What does that look like? Not on a wedding, in the office.
Not on a wedding day, right?
In brief, we don't need it minute by minute. Because this video is going to be long.
A long time. So, well, I do have 3 children. So my daughter is nearly 18 at the moment, planning her 18 in lockdown possibly. So basically my life is getting my kids to school and going to my office, which is based in Harrogate, and answering emails. I try and plan it as a planner and do my emails first thing, and then I will do some social media posts. Generally, if I've got, say, weddings coming up, I like 6 weeks before I do my timelines. At the moment, I'm working probably about 6 months in advance for doing timelines. I'm just amending them as I go. I have files for every single couple. So every time I get an email, print it off, action the points. And there's a lot of paperwork day by day involved. Just, if someone sends me a question, I then have to call or email that supplier, check with them, wait for them to get back, reply. So there's a lot of back and forth, but it's very meticulous in the kind of planning of each event, each wedding. So nothing can be missed. So loads of emails, and then again just marketing, trying to get new business, thinking of different things to do. I do find myself, I get not bored but maybe bogged down probably with paperwork, so I have to break away and do something else, and my mind works about 5 million times ahead of my fingers and things. So I'm kind of thinking, right, I need to do that, and so I do end up working long days, just because I can't go to sleep until I've finished everything on my tick list, and then obviously at the end of emails and stuff, pick up kids, feed kids, get back, probably start work again back at my house about 8 o'clock, and then I'll do all my international phone calls, my couples in New York and LA, and where's the other one, Dubai. So chat to them, and continuous with that is WhatsApp messages and things, pinning things. A lot of my brides send me pictures on WhatsApp and then I have to pin them to their boards. I don't do physical mood boards anymore, it's all on Pinterest. So
that's interesting. So you work with so you use Pinterest a lot as a tool.
Yeah, they all have their own boards, just so that when I come to meetings I can bring it up and remind myself, because you've got to remember I'm juggling at the moment 12 full-time weddings, and obviously that's per year, and obviously we're working a year ahead, so you potentially have up to 20 on the go at the same time. But I do pride myself on any of those brides ringing me at any point, and I'll know exactly where I am with all of their weddings. So if they ring up and say, oh, did you chat to the photographer? Yes, I know exactly where I am with that, and I've got it in my file. So yeah, it's kind of juggling everyone, making sure all emails of that day are answered, or just notified. Say, for example, someone's asked me something and I've not got the answer, but I will let them know and just say, right, I've not heard back from that florist, I'll get back to you as soon as I've heard from them.
And then when it comes to the wedding day, I know every wedding is completely different. Just briefly, what's it like on the day? What time are you getting up in the morning?
Right, well, it depends what time the ceremony is, but usually I always recommend a 2 o'clock ceremony. So that and depends where it is as well, but I'll probably get up about 7:30, get myself ready. I'll have got all my gear in my car the day before, or I'll have been at the venue the day before. If it's a hotel, usually I'm staying over. So I did one recently at Rockcliffe Hall. I went up on the Friday, I stayed there all day on the Friday, and they stayed overnight, just because it was easier. So I was up
just because there's a spa.
I didn't get to do that. I didn't get to do that. And then, Ruth, amazing Ruth at Rockcliffe Hall, she said to me, "Oh, did you bring your cosy?" I was like, "Oh, damn it, no." I literally didn't have a minute to, and I always say to my couples, I prefer them to go, 4 or 5 o'clock on the day before. I want them to go off and relax and go to the spa, and I will carry on with putting out name cards, or ironing the linen, or tweaking whatever it is, signposts and things. I'll do all of that, so that they can go and chill out. So if it's a venue I can stay over, that's great. And then I'll be up at 8. But I plan everything so that everything is done the day before, so therefore I can deal with any eventuality on the wedding day as it arises. So literally, I can look at my timeline, I'm ticking everything off as I go, but there's nothing left to do apart from deal with the the day's occurrences from the wedding. So whether it be what did I have recently, we had the band arriving slightly late just because of traffic. We had November, the lighting guy's van broke down, and there was a knock-on effect of things just being delayed, and it was fine. I could deal with things and get it sorted, because of all the other little details that all finished the day before.
So all your work is essentially done before the day, apart from the responses, which obviously you have to be good at and know what you're doing with those. But the day really is, I guess you enjoy it. That Rockcliffe Hall wedding, incidentally, looked beautiful. I've seen some photos from that one. It looked absolutely gorgeous. So it must be great when you see it all come together. And I'm guessing that's one of your best bits. What are your best bits?
Yeah, definitely. Just seeing the bride and groom, I suppose, when they walk into the marquee or the room, which I suppose where the focal of the day is, isn't it? Where it's all the designers all come together with the stationery, the linen, the flowers, the music and everything. It's all in that reception room for dinner. So I suppose seeing their faces, or just I love seeing the bride when she's just put her dress on, and or them just left, they've just got married, they're walking back down the aisle, and being the first to congratulate them. And I always blow air kisses. I don't like to smudge their makeup or get in the way of photos. I blow them a kiss and just say, oh, congratulations. And those, I love those bits of the day. But I think the best bit is, because I don't really relax during the day until maybe after first dance, because my still got duties to do, such as making sure, well, the cake knife's still there, no one's nicked it. Usually kids do that. Oh, I found a knife. And if it's a sword, I have to watch that like a hawk. So making sure, and if you've got confetti cannons for the first dance, make sure that I've unwrapped them. Oh, I did that once, I forgot to unwrap them all. So if you've ever used them, they're like, well, I always say to get for like the, I don't know, they're about a metre long.
We love a confetti cannon here at Unveiled and Brides Up North.
They are brilliant. I try, even this is really bad to say, even when you're not allowed them, have them, because they're brilliant. So, but they come in a cellophane wrap, and so I was like, oh no, I forgot to unwrap them. So there's those kind of things, make sure the flip-flops are on the dance floor. There's all sorts of things to do later in the day, but I suppose then it gets to about 10 o'clock at night, and you just sit back, or I do, and kind of just watch everyone and think, oh, they're all having a great time, everything's gone to plan. And that's when I can finally slightly relax and think, oh, thank goodness, all gone well.
Until the next day.
Yeah, until the next day. Well, until the wedding party, kind of, changing the linen and stuff. But then it's always a bit more relaxed, because there's no pressure on the couple on the post-wedding parties, really, because they've got married, everything has gone brilliantly on the day. So if there are any hiccups, such as it rains, or someone's a bit hungover or not feeling well, it doesn't seem so I won't say so important, but it doesn't affect everyone. It doesn't in the same way as it would on the wedding day. So everyone's a little bit more relaxed. for the next day. I'm just, on the other hand, absolutely shattered, but
So Lucy, if anyone wants to contact you for advice, or if a bride and groom are watching this bit, how do they contact you? How do they get in touch? And I'll add it to the episode here.
Oh, fab, thank you. So best way is probably, phone call, email. But yeah, I've got Instagram, which is, I'm updating all the time with Instagram TV, hints and tips and things. Forgive me now, because I'm just learning to do that. I'm not a tech whiz, but it's quite good fun doing it. So Instagram is UCW Events. And then my website, which is, again, needs a work in process. But I just love chatting to people. So just give me a phone call or an email to arrange the best time to have a phone call, or a WhatsApp or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much, Lucy. That's been amazing.
Oh, no problem at all. It's lovely. Things, weddings. I could carry on for another 6 hours if you wish.
Yeah, I think we could chat all day, couldn't we? But thank you so much, and it's been great chatting to you.
Yeah, you too.